Hey, are you a rich person or are you a poor person? Right? What are you? Are you rich or you're poor? There's no middle class. You're either rich or you're impoverished. That what we call middle class is really has more in common with poverty. Now, I'm not talking about money in the bank, right? I'm not talking about how much money you have. I'm talking about, are you abundant? Are you living wealthy? Are you living like somebody would live if they're wealthy, right? See, here's what wealthy people do. It has nothing to do with money, right? It has nothing to do with money. The major difference between wealthy people and poor people really comes down to their practices, right? So there's one major practice that separate poor people from rich people. And you know what it is? I want to tell you today. Rich people, they invest. Yes, they invest their money, they invest their time, but they are investors. Poor people are spenders. They spend their money, they don't invest their money. Now, in order to invest, you do spend, but an investment is something different. An investment is something you're putting money into that's going to get back to you, right? It's something of value. Rich people invest. They invest their time, they invest their money first. Then they pay their bills second. Rich people invest first before they take care of what they consider survival needs. This is a common habit with abundant and wealthy people. Poor people, they just pay their bills. They spend their money on whatever they have to spend it on, whatever they want to spend it on, entertainment, whatever. And then if they have something left over, they'll throw some crumbs to investments if they have it left over. But it's very expendable. Now, why am I telling you this? Because I want you to be wealthy. Because we all can be wealthy. Because this universe is wealthy, by the way. This world is abundant. Don't buy into this idea that we live in an impoverished world. We don't. We create that through our behaviors, our actions, our habits, all these things. Human beings create poverty. Nature is not impoverished. Nature is abundant. You can look at nature and you can see it is being absolutely abundant because it is abundant. Now, how do you tap into that abundance? You have to invest. When you invest, you are energetically hooking yourself up to abundance. As a life coach, I always encourage people, first and foremost, invest into yourself. That's not selfish. It is selfish, but it's the kind of selfishness that benefits everybody else. If you will learn to, first and foremost, invest into yourself. Now, as a coach, I recommend a lot of people to invest into coaching, but if that's not your thing, invest in yourself in another way. Invest into your well-being somehow, some way. It always comes first. Invest into your well-being. Secondly, invest in financial assets. For me personally, I like to buy stocks. Why? Because there are companies doing great work in the world, and I want to actually energetically be hooked or hitched to those companies, right? So I invest in those companies. I buy shares of those companies' stocks. That's one way you can invest. You can invest into a business. You can invest into lots of things, but learn to invest first. Invest into yourself, invest financially. And then thirdly, invest into people. Invest into people. Pour yourself into people. If you will learn to be an investor first, invest first before you spend on entertainment or before you spend on survival-based needs, you will never have to worry about survival.